Hey guys, this is your old pal John Hart, and I'm gonna throw some paint on this today. I started this a while ago. I feel like I haven't painted in like over a week, so maybe this is what I need to do. But I painted this. This is on that MDO plywood. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. This is like a goldfish kind of cracker. I think I'm going to start back here. I don't know what these are, but I think I want them green. So I'm just going to get some green paint out and start throwing paint on there and see what happens. They kind of look like French fries, maybe. But I'm thinking green, so they might be more asparagus-y. Not quite sure. So I'm just getting a few different greens on the palette here. I got this dark green. It's called deep green. It's like kind of like sap green. It's real dark and it's very good at tinting. And I'll get some of this. This is slow drying matte medium. So what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I think I'll just get some of this matte medium up here. This is clear. It's going on clear, right? And I'll just try and do the same shape that I have that the underpainting has. And I'll try and stay as loose as possibly can. So I think I'm not sure if these things up here are the same as these, if it's one thing coming down or not. So I'll see if I can make that work. Yeah, this has a good green. I don't know, this seems like a weird shaped canvas. It's actually like a plywood. It's just a piece that I had cut out for some other reason, and this is a leftover piece. So usually when I'm at this point, I'm taking the jigsaw and I already have it cut out here, but I won't do that until later. So let's just get I need some rags. Here's one on the floor. Um, there's one over here too. That's all I need is two. So I'll put one on the table and one on my knee. That should be enough. So I'm getting a little more. It's going to be dark here. I'm trying to think of what these things can be. Let me just get some of that other, the lighter green on here too. This is called I don't know what it's called. It's like called lemon yellow green. What is it called? It's called yellow green. That's what I like about this brand. They kind of stick with names of their paint that are very descriptive. Yellow green. A lot of the traditional paints have use the traditional names of what the material's made out of, like cadmium and phthalo. And maybe these guys do too. This is just probably not. Again, it's really dark down here because it's dark down here too. I don't know where this is going. Maybe this is going to be part of this. Let's just make these guys down here part of these for now until I can figure out what to do. I want to make them something. I'm not quite sure what. Like a familiar shape. I think because they are tall and skinny and green, they could be like asparaguses, but I'm not sure. Let me see. This guy is going. I'm trying to get the outside. I want to kind of know exactly where the outside of this fishy is, so I don't start painting too much over it. Oh, this is nice. Let me let me stay up here for now. I love goldfishes too. They are delicious. Thanks, Ben the Beard. That's funny. I think, I started painting this and I just bought like a bag of those goldfish and I hadn't bought them in years. My wife's like, "Oh, I love these. We never have these around the house anymore." And so since then I bought I purchased a few more bags and I like all the pizza flavors and the other yummy flavors. But I kind of painted like a cigarette in his mouth. I think I'm going to make him kind of a juvenile delinquent goldfish. And I think kind of what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to discover what these things are and how they relate to him. These almost look like fingers holding them. Um, but we'll see. Sometimes these things just take a crazy turn and they're nothing what you planned on them to be. So I'm just trying to get this on really quick. You know what? I got this yellow green. I'm gonna put some of this this bright yellow on too. I think that'll help kind of make these back things pop out a little bit. I got the white, but I think the yellow might work good too. Yeah. Oh, I think the underpainting was just yeah, look at that. I think the underpainting was just, let's see, that looks like it's just like burnt sienna and probably some sort of yellow, Indian yellow, which I know that's Indian yellow because that's kind of one of my favorites. And I'm being really super loosey goosey here. And I hope I can be heard. I have the mic on. The green light's on. I'm assuming it's good. Yeah, I kind of like how this yellow and the green and the yellow green are all interacting. So I'll make you nice and bright here because to make it look as if these things are coming up underneath. Yeah. So they're almost like green fingers, but I know they aren't going to finally be green fingers. And I'm putting on really big floppy pieces of paint. I don't know what I'm saying. Looks good. I'm just being super loose, and I think when you get loose with the paint, it helps you discover things. And a lot of this still is I'm still discovering what's going to go on here. And man, the colors themselves are probably enough. But and you know what I want to do? I was looking at this earlier. I hung this back up. That's what I do when I'm painting. If I have a piece I'm in the middle of, it's usually sitting up here, ready to be painted. But sometimes I'll take it down because I'm working on 1,000 pieces at a time. But it's nice to walk past things and say, "What's going on here? What's going on here?" And every time you pass it, you say, oh, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. Yeah, yeah, and this deep green is really nice. Really nice. I'm going to get some more of the medium on here too. Keep things wet. It's snowing out now. It's snowing out. That's going to be, so whatever this thing is, it looks like a finger now, but that's kind of right here. I got to remember there's the shadow from this goldfish that's above him. And I'm keeping it really, really dark and not too heavily mixed with each other yet. And that's a nice shape. And this is going to be nice once it's cut out because it'll be boom, 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 boom. Unless I add more to it. I kind of think right now I want to add more to it. Because, like I said, I don't know what's going on here yet. There's shapes that may be asparagus-y, or maybe they're like cactusy. I'm not quite sure. Let me get some more of that here. And this is acrylic. This is drying super fast. And that's nice about acrylic. Because it'll dry up, and when you say, oh, I didn't like what I did, you just paint over it because it'll be dry in 5 minutes. Get you up here. And you can't see it on camera, but there's all sorts of there's all sorts of brush marks on this board because I originally had something painted on it. This came from an 8x4 sheet of plywood. And one day, I think this was back in November, I was really stressed out. I was tense as hell, and I threw a lot of heavy paint on here, so I have all that kind of the angry, the stressed paint marks on the back. So it's kind of giving it a little bit of character. Okay. And if this is still, oops, I got my $50 electric portable heater that I got from the Asian supermarket there. Hey, Forrest, thanks for checking in. Oh, it is. I see that. A big old Dorito chip. Not for long. Forrest was here a few days ago. He came by, I think it was Friday night. He he's my buddy from around the corner, and he came by. He's a photographer. He's a professional photographer, and got those shots out that I needed. And he came by, did it quick, did it perfect, and went home. Man, it's so nice having people you can rely on to get shit done and get it done right, man. Thank you, brother. Always a pleasure. All right. I'm just being super loosey goosey. I'll put a towel up here and clean the brush off there. I want a lot more of this yellow on there. And it's nice how it's kind of mixing in real loose with the other wet paint. Yeah, but this is all dry already. Oh, no, it isn't. It's close to dry, though. I'm just going to kind of blend it in a little bit, just a little bit. But lots of big fat stroke marks still. Okay. Let me see if I can take a big old dry brush and see if I can. I don't like that one. Here, this one will do. This is nice and soft. I can just, still super wet, so I'm just kind of blending a little bit. Just using the corner of the brush mostly. I can blend that dark into with the lighter right there. There you go. I think what I'll do is step back. That's kind of good enough for now. I think what I'll do is stop painting that, let it dry a little bit. You know what? I wanted to do the goldfish, like paint stripes on it or something, but I kind of want to keep it that goldfish color. So maybe I'll just work on the goldfish color a little more, make it a little vibrant, but not too much. I think I would use some Indian yellow and maybe some of this cadmium orange. I don't know. I have this one palette here. This is my green palette. I'll try and keep all these color families on different palettes, just because if you start throwing them all on one palette, not you, me, when I start doing, I'm super fucking messy, and it just sucks when you start getting the complementary colors mixed in. It just turns muddy. Hey Dakota, thanks for checking in. So yeah, let me make him look more goldfishy color. Um, Let me see, what brush do I want? You know, here's one. I was just using this, but I'll keep using it. It's not that dirty. This one's super dirty. I'll keep that in the water. And like all these palettes I'm putting together, I always just have the main colors, some medium to help keep the paint as wet as possible for as long as possible, and white. And you know, I need a dark for this too, and I think the dark I'm going to use is called transparent red iron oxide, which is kind of my new go-to earth color. It's nice and brown, but it has a nice. That's what I used for the first layer. Was this an Indian yellow? But I'm gonna keep this as loose as possible because I am gonna wind up trimming this out with the jigsaw. And this guy, I think, needs to go over here, like so. And you know what I need to do? I need to get a lot of this matte medium on here. Oh, and some of the iron oxide is mixing in, but that's okay. Get some white on there. Oh, and there's so much water in this brush too. All right. We'll make this work. Okay, so it's going to be lighter here. It's going to be the light source is coming from the top, so I always got to keep that in mind. Right now, it's kind of a little overkill on the light source, but that's okay. We can dumb it down. So I think this is the cadmium orange, and this is the Indian yellow. And the Indian yellow I know mixes really nice with this red iron oxide. So I'm going to get super loosey-goosey with this. And there's the cad orange. I'm spilling shit all over the place. Yeah, this is looking nice. All right, and this is going up here. Pretty cool. It's snowing out, man. I didn't pay attention. I don't think there's supposed to be that much. Just hear snow, and everyone's like, "Oh, snow!" So people do their little, they'll freak out. I'm gonna put some orange in here too. I don't know how that's gonna work. And I put like a place marker here for a cigarette, but I don't know if I want to encourage our youth, well, our young goldfish to smoke. It seems like a nasty habit. I smoked for a long time. I started like really young. I started smoking like shit. I was 13. I was one of the cool kids. I thought I was. And I picked up a pack of cigarettes. I remember my first time I really started smoking. I was walking to the golf course. I was 13. Um, and someone threw a pack of Parliaments out there. Parliaments? They're in the blue pack. Yeah, Parliaments. Out on the side of the road. And I picked it up and I started smoking them. And then all my friends were smoking and we all smoked. And I didn't quit till shit. I was probably 35. So over 20 years. I smoked a long time. That was hard, man. It's hard to quit smoking, man. But it is what it is. Don't do it anymore. Kind of fun. I think I want some more of this Indian yellow. Come on, bitch. Get out there. That's looking good. I kind of want to put some sort of different type of face on him. Yeah, this is looking okay. The yellow mixed with the white. The orange doesn't mix with the white as well because it kind of gets a little pale looking. And I'm going to get more dark down there. Give it a good, make it darker on the bottom, right? Because our light source is up top. So make it nice and dramatic. And I'm being super loose. Super loose. And this is all like really, really wet right now. And I think, let's step back. It needs to be darker on the bottom. Kind of get more of that dark here. Blend it up a little bit with the yellow that's there. And I think this is kind of my approach. When I'm painting something, I'll paint the shape first, right? So the shape. Then I'll paint the bulk of it, like the to give it some bulk. So I'll paint like where it's coming forward and where it's coming back. And after that, I'll paint like any shadows. So like whatever this is, I'm just putting in there now. Like this cigarette coming out of his mouth is going to be a shadow. And once I have all that done, that's when I start painting the details. Like so say he has a tattoo on him or something, I'm just putting that on last. So let me see if I can just make this a little blendy. It's a big fluffy brush here. And it's picking it. This is super wet, so it's picking up a lot of the paint. So I'm just wiping it off here. I'm just going to go over that cigarette shadow that I painted before. Yeah, that is definitely the right color for goldfish. So this is my formula for goldfish. What is my formula for goldfish? Red iron oxide, Indian yellow, and some cadmium orange. And then white, of course. And it's nice too if you can keep it super dark in places. Give it that kind of dramatic thing. And I kind of mixed in too much of the dark, so I'm going to just put a little bit more down here and not mix it in so much. Just let it sit there. I'll do another layer. That's pretty good. So let's see. Everybody wants to see, is expecting a goldfish. So I could do like a hyper intense, like bulging eye maybe. Okay, what else could I do? I could do an X. That means the goldfish is dead. And that is always a nice cheat when you don't want to draw an eye. You just put an X there and say, oh, sorry, this guy's dead. I don't want him dead, though. All right. Feel like, what do I feel like here? I feel like I need to go back and just reshape him a little bit. He looks a little clunky here. Because, let me step back. Yeah. I feel like this is coming up right here, but he needs to come in here more. So I'm just painting that green out. I'm kind of erasing some of the fish. I like that. And it's nice. This is just pure deep green. And it's going over this. This is mostly dry. I painted that. It's a little tacky, but it's mostly dry now. So I have these oranges. I have the greens. I feel like I need to put things around. Maybe, what do I want to put around? What do I want to put around? Let me get a sip of tea. What do I want to put around? I want something either yellow or blue, but there's enough yellow in here. Let me just start painting some shapes in white and see what happens. So I could do grapes, maybe. No, I want something bright, bright blue, like this phthalo turquoise. Let's try that. You know what? Let me just get some. Let me get some. Just do paint something in white, or just make. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to. This is what I'm trying to do. This is just a weird shape painting. So right now your eye is going up and down and that way. So your eyes going like that. If I can kind of add some other stuff random, it'll help to bring your eye around a little better. Uh, so if I could do, let me just do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I kind of want faces on these guys. So yeah, we can. It's so difficult. It's so difficult. It's not difficult. I'm just gonna start making shapes. Okay, there's something roundish here. So these can be, I don't want one up there. Don't know. I want these to be something though, not just. I do like these round things. It's like, okay, are these going to be, grapes or lemons or limes or cue balls or pool balls or something like that. Mm. So, and then, or they can be something so um, non-specific that it forces you, the viewer, to decide what it is. And that's kind of the direction I like to do. Because I don't want to make these decisions. I want you to make the decisions. So, okay, how about this? Right now, these are kind of round things, but what if maybe they're round things with something sticking out? That looks like kind of a dude with a nose now. But I'll put this, he's looking there. Okay, so whatever this is, there's a shape coming out of that sphere going looking that way. Now, if this shape is pointing that way, it's forcing you to kind of go like that. So I think maybe I'm just making this shit up. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. So they look like kind of like weird men with funny noses. Who knows? It's one, two, three, four. Let's get. Feel like um, maybe four is enough. Yeah, maybe four is enough. Okay. So let me just get some blue on there and see where this takes us. Hey, Melissa, you still there? Melissa lives across the street from me. All right. Yeah, let's get some of you on there, Mr. Blue. Yeah, I think blue's the right color. I'm still not sure what these things are, but they're looking like dopey guys with a big nose. And that might be good enough. Let me get some dark blue on here too, some phthalo blue. Phthalos are good. All the phthalos are nice and dark and transparent, and they're good for I don't know, good for painting. That's what I'm doing. So, okay, let's make you blue. This shape reminds me of, golly, some like comic book character maybe, who had a big nose. I'm thinking like maybe Ziggy, but I don't think that's right because I don't know if I don't think Ziggy had a big nose. Maybe he did. So, so let's see what's going on here. This is that's funny that if just these guys just turn out to be bald guys with big noses that are blue. And I'm just trying to get big, dark swatches of paint on here, just so it's more visible to me while I'm painting and I can see what I'm doing and it's becoming something. Okay, and this guy. Yeah, because it looks like looks like this guy's they're all kind of almost looking at different parts of the painting. Yeah, so I guess these guys are big nose dudes. And I think if these do wind up being big nose dudes, what I'm doing before I put any faces on here is just to model these out so they appear believable, like in a 3D space. I don't know. I don't know. Some blue on there. I need a little more white in this thing. White and tea. There is a danger when painting and drinking anything, and that you will put your brush in the wrong cup, or even worse. And I did this once. I picked up my my brush water, but it wasn't water. It was the turpentine, the paint thinner, and it touched my lips, and I said, "Ew, this isn't what I want to drink." Okay, that's too much. I need to just erase part of that. Just so I know where everything is. And get some more medium in there. Matte medium. Keep everything nice and wet. And I think I have a nice fluorescent blue too. Is this it? I think this is it. It's a super bright blue and it's really transparent and I like using it. And I don't know if I have room for it on here. I'm just putting the whites on and the darks on so it looks believable. So this guy is going to be like that. Guy. Yeah, so these are looking like big noses. Big noses on round heads. Yeah, this is going on better up here. This is almost drier than the stuff down here. And I think I'm going to just try and put the whites where it's lit and the darks where it's not as lit. And I'm trying to remember that my light source is up there when I'm painting. I think most normal people who paint, they have some sort of reference, and I'll grab a reference too when I kind of know what I'm painting or if I need it. And even now, if I get stuck and I'm like, I kind of made up this shape, but I don't know how to make it work right. Sometimes I'll just grab, see if I can look online and see if I can find some sort of reference that will make me draw it better. And if you're paying attention, what I'm doing, I'm just drawing spheres. That's what I'm doing. That's like, I think that's like the first thing you learn in like drawing class is how to draw a sphere. I haven't gotten much past that. I'm really good at drawing round things. I'm not even that good at it either, to be honest, but whatever. I'm doing it. No one else is doing it, so I'll do it. All right. And it's nice. I'm doing this kind of weird thing here, and someone's going to look at it and assign it some meaning, which is nice. And they'll assign it some meaning because maybe elements of it remind them of something that happened or is familiar to them. So I'm just drawing these guys. You know what I need? I feel like I'm getting too detaily, so I need to get a bigger brush, right? So I'm going to kind of get the whites schmoosed in, and then I'm going to get kind of mix the darks. And I'm picking up some of the really heavy paint on there and just taking it off there, which is fine. So it's these things. All right, let's see, what can I do now? I think I can go back to the green because that's almost dry. And I'm going to get some fresh water. It looks like nasty. It doesn't even look like anything food. I was going to say pea soup. Pea soup is appetizing looking. Let me get two things of water. Oh yeah, it's just coming to life. Yeah, I don't know what those blue things are, but they look pretty all right. All right, let's get that down there, guys. I don't know who's there anymore. I kind of do these live things once in a while, and say, oh, there's 4 people on here or whatever, but you don't really know who. Could be the person who joined early on in the game. Hey. That's my neighbor. My behind the house neighbor, Sharon. She wants something. Let me look at this. What could those green things be? Um, I don't know yet. So I'm going to go back to the greens and the yellows and just make the darks darker and maybe just be more specific. Is specific the right word, or detailed about? Mhm. And this guy, so this, I'm going to make this second one in front of the first one. That might seem a little clunky, but we'll see how it works out. And then I'll make that, yeah, because he's bigger down here, and I think these are going to turn into those. So he'll be in front of everyone. I need more paint. That's purple. Where's my green? My dark green. Mhm. And there's still a lot of this kind of the underpainting visible. It was kind of a orangey, brownish kind of looking thing. So we'll make that work. I'll kind of make this dark here and more dark there. And we'll make this more shadowy, right? Where's my rag? Here's my rag. And I want a lot more of this yellow on there. So yellow on there. And I don't want any white. The yellow looks pretty damn good. So let me get some more yellow and a little more of the matte medium. I think really mostly the only reason I use matte medium is to keep this paint wet. The same here. And now I'm going to get some of that yellow green here. If I could get a bunch of it right next to it. Same thing here with the matte medium. Keep it nice and wet. If I can take a somewhat dry brush here, kind of mix them in a little bit together. This is nice and loose. I like this. I've been trying to be loose like over the past year, and it's hard. Ask any artist about who's learning how to paint, learning how to draw, about trying to get loose. It's hard for I think a lot of us. You know who's good at it is um who's good at being loose. Ah, Christine over at Creative Brush. She does it's called like plein air, and she just has this magic where she can paint like a an outdoor scene, and just it's giant freaking brush strokes and big swatches of color, and it looks exactly like what you're looking at, but it not detailed. It's just it captures the color, the the vibe, and it's just she is very good at what she does. She teaches at the drawing, and also she teaches all sorts of stuff at the art factory now. So so if anybody wants to learn to draw or paint, I highly recommend it. I had a studio next to hers for like a year, and it was a very good experience because I think her mom's an artist and she grew up around art, and she's so good at it. I feel like I learned how to do art backwards because I never like really I took drawing classes in community college, but I never like learned how to paint, and I kind of taught myself, and I feel like even now I'm learning some of the basics that I probably should have learned, you know, 20 years ago. But whatever. And it's not saying I'm doing anything wrong. It's just kind of I feel like I wish I knew some of these things beforehand because I feel like I've not wasted time, but just I could have learned things better if there was some structure, but I don't know. That's not me. I'm kind of a I don't know. Okay, I'm kind of painting a shadow of that guy. So let me get some shadows here too of these. So it's a cast shadow of this round thing in front of this green thing, which I still don't know what either are. And maybe there'll be nothing. Maybe there'll just be blue things and green things where you just have to figure it out for yourself, baby. It's really too dark on that side, but tough. I'll keep it that way. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll put some of this yellow there, lighten things up. Mm. Ah, I'm digging that. It needs a little bit of bit more yellow there, here. There you go. Step back, squint a little bit, a little bit. All right, all right. I'm getting to the point where I need to do something. I need to define whatever's going on here. Colors are right, shapes are right. I just have to solidify. I have to solidify how everyone's interacting and what they're doing. So, thanks for checking in, guys. All right. All right. You know what I'll do? I'll just take a little bit. I'll take some baby steps here. So let me take. Let's work on the blues. This paintbrush is gonna fall apart, but I don't give a shit. So I do give a shit. This paintbrush sucks. I think it just needs a good cleaning. Okay, this one's good enough. I've used this before. This is a little wobbly too, but I know the I know I can get a fairly good line on here. So just nice and dark. I'm just kind of doing an outline. That was too thick there. I want the outline thicker on the bottom. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that's too big of an eye thing, but I think that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. Use my eraser. Not even eraser, it's a smudgy thing, the way I used it. All right, same thing here. This guy. It's like that. I might even put one more of these blue things on here, maybe. So I think it's about 6 o'clock. I haven't thought about dinner, but I think dinner might be a matter of us. Us. I say us. Me and my wife kind of just separately scrounging through the refrigerator. I know there's so much leftovers. All right, so they're all kind of looking up there. That's good. It's kind of defining things a little better. So I feel like all right, so if this is a nose, he's looking there. The nose is coming up there. And let's see. I think if I give him smiles, he's happy looking at it. Or if I kind of give him a straight thing, he's kind of concerned. Right? That might work good too, but maybe not. Oops, I'm making a mess. I don't care. I just spit on my painting. That's the secret ingredient sometimes. Okay. Or, you know what? Let me give him more of a chin there. All right. But, or maybe if I give him a scowl, he's like, that's the same thing. The scowl was the same thing as the straight line. So let's see. So let's give this guy an eye. All right. Okay. And this guy's. But yeah, let's, I'll do that again. I think if I give them all different expressions, if they're all kind of angry or happy or the same thing, it's less interesting. So I'm going to kind of, maybe I can make this guy surprised, right? He's kind of like, ooh, look at the big fish. This guy's just happy to be hanging out there. Um, he's a little surprised. Let's see if I can make, who can I work best at being angry? Let's make this guy angry. So I think I have to do something with the eye. There you go. Okay. And this guy's happy. This guy's concerned. This guy's surprised. This guy's kind of happy now, but we'll just keep him happy for now. Two happies, and this guy's a little pissy bastard. I'm pissy about this. That's nice now because most of this blue is nice and dry now, so I can get some heavy, heavy whites on here and heavy darks. Well, I said most of it. That part was not. But okay. So just adding these. I feel like I need to blend these out a little bit. Blend you out a little bit. And these are all really more darker than I want them to be. I'm going back and forth with this like teal color and this fluorescent blue color. I'm going to just mix it a little bit on the palette because I want this to be a lot lighter on the bottom than it is. But now that's too light. Oh, what am I doing? That's okay. Sometimes you have to do layers and layers and layers, and then it kind of builds up and it looks good enough. Yeah. But I think all these expressions can change too. I mean, these were just initial things. I might get really detailed on the expressions too. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. There you go. I think I'm getting it. I kind of got the shapes down right, and now I'm just starting to paint as fast as I can. And I'm kind of getting that kind of feel I'm looking for. So it's starting to feel believable. And what I mean believable in terms of, okay, I believe that this thing on the 2D space is on a 3D space. That's what I mean about believable. What is that? Oh, that's the cat. He's munching on something over there. Din din. Same thing here. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to revisit all the expressions. It's so easy. Oops. The expressions. Oops, oops, I'm smooching stuff around. I need to get my eraser out again. There we go. All right. See if I can get back on this guy. He's looking good. And it's nice making, like using a bunch of different colors on the palette. Like my blue palette, there's this bright blue, this teal, and this dark blue. And once you start mixing them next to each other, it really kind of it adds a lot of, I don't know what the fuck it adds. It like kind of personality. So it's not just, even though it is blue, it's not necessarily monotone because it's so many different blues, I guess. Hmm. I'm doing this show and we're releasing it in like 2 weeks. I'm working with this dude. He's with the Fox and Anchor Productions, and we've been down here in my studio. I want to say the past 5 or 6 months, shooting me doing this stuff, and yeah, it's coming out on YouTube. I'll put out a link. I think I have some links out there already, but yeah, he looks a little pissed off. I like him. He's kind of happy, and he's kind of happy, and he just doesn't know what's going on. Let me see what's going on with this fish. And I originally had a smoke in his mouth, like a Marlboro or a Newport. I don't know what brand goldfish drink or smoke rather, but make it a Newport. Okay, let me see. I think these blue guys really added something to it, and let's see. Let me try some of that right now with the green things too. Let's see if I can get. That's my problem. I have to put fucking faces on everything, man. Maybe they're ghosts. Green ghosts. I'm not sure. Whatever they are, they're not where they need to be yet, but maybe. I think what I'm going to do, know what I'm going to put on him? I'm going to put on those eyes. Oh, what are they called? Those I'll do it. Those stick-on googly eyes. Just one of them. I think that'll be enough. So, stick-on googly eye goes right here, and this is all dry now, so it'll be easy to paint in. That looks like a circle. I feel like I definitely need. I did this once before, did googly eyes, but I feel like I need a reference because there's like a certain way that it reflects the light. Um, I'm gonna put just a little bit of blue in there so it's not white because I think I need to use some white when I get to it over it for like the highlights. Because on those googly eyes, there you go. Those googly eyes, I'm going to look that up on my phone. I'm shooting this with my phone now. Oh, I think I have my iPad down here. Oh, iPad, where are you? I saw you earlier. I saw you earlier. Where are you, dude? Oh, here you are. Okay, let me look up googly eyes. GOOGLYEYES. Go. Dude, googly eyes right here. Okay. I see him. All right. All right. Images. Googly eyes. Let's see. Yeah, I think that'll do. Here's my googly eyes. So I'm gonna use black. I don't normally use black for anything, but I think black will be appropriate. I'll just put a dot there. And I think I'm gonna use a little bit of the black and just kind of darken up the background a little bit more. And if I can put my googly eyes right there, right there, it's nice to have a reference. All right. And I think I'm gonna need a skinny little brush. And I don't think I have a skinny little brush here. No, I don't. That brush is over here. And I've learned over the years the skinny little brushes always sink to the bottom. Skinny little brush. Oh, my brushes are so damn gnarly, nasty. Oh, here's one. Oh, here's, I think, the one I want. And here's a selection of a few. One of them's bound to work. So I think I just want, I want this. I want this. I want this. I just knocked that. That's fine. It's still working. I want this, the background a little, just a little bit darker. Ooh, that is green. Did I put green on here? That's black. There's green on the bottom. I put this on another palette. Okay, that's kind of a little darker. That seems about right. And I think I'm going to use a straight black and put, it really has to be down. So I'm trying to be, I don't really get really exact on things, but I feel like I have to since googly eyes are circles, and I think I kind of fucked that up already. Ah, that looks believable, right? Yeah, I think I'm close. Don't overthink it, Johnny. I think I need to kind of smooshed it a little bit here. God, there's all sorts of green on this. The blue I'm okay with. Okay, so all right, I have to make the circle bigger now because I'm a big dum-dum. Because the eyeball doesn't actually go to the bottom because there's a little ridge there. Okay. All right, that's more believable. Okay, that's more believable, right? Now, if I can get back on that black without it going to the edge, I think I'll be okay. Kind of. I think I'm going to get that little tiny pointy brush, this liner brush. And what else am I going to do? I'm also going to do, I'm going to lean on this stick here to steady my hand. Okay, so and that's one of those things. I'm doing this here. If you notice how loose I was on everything else, if you kind of get kind of detaily in like a major like visually major area of the painting where people are zooming in on, they'll say, "Oh, that whole painting is so detailed." But when it's just the one spot, you're kind of tricking them into it. So I'm I'm using trickery by deception. Okay, let me get back to this. So there are some highlights here. Let me try. So I think I'm going to get some of the pure white. And I'm still using this little tiny liner brush. I mean, that's a fucking thin ass brush here, right? So I like this one the most here. So I'll say the highlight is going here, right? And I'll get one over here. And that might be good enough. Kind of looking at these. You know what? I'm going to do just a little bit of a kind of a darker outline, and I think it'll do the trick. So I'm just going. There's all sorts of colors on this brush that I don't want. There's these guys, they do like pinstriping. Man, I love watching videos of that. They're just so detailed and so confident with their brush strokes. I think, like anything else, that comes with doing. pretty good. I need just a little. You know what I need to do? I need to make these reflections more specific so they look like, because like on here they look like um rectangles of like a window that are curved by the curvature of the plastic. So that's kind of believable. And if I can do that over here, I will say that's enough. Oh, I need for this to dry because there's so much non-white in this. Ah, I think that's believable, unless it's not. It's a little not believable. Let me see if I can touch this up and make it work. Yeah, I think I just need to let this dry a little bit and then come back later. You know what? That's fucking good, man. Good enough is good enough. And if I can take, I need to wash this off. I'll just use a little bit bigger of a brush. Now, if I could just get a little bit of this dark goldfish color under here, say, hey, this has a little bit of a shadow underneath. That works. I think I'm gonna go back to my little skinny brush, man. So I'm using the dark color and I'm really saturating it with the medium, the matte medium. It's a clear thing, and I'm actually putting too much on it. So let me get a bigger flob of this. There you go. That's believable. That is believable. Now, if I can just take this cleaner brush, I don't want to say it's clean, but it's cleaner than the last brush. No, barely. And do that. Okay. Um, that's pretty good. And it looks like it's sitting off. I don't know if you can really see from there, but it does look like a googly eye a little bit. Actually, a lot. Let me see. I wanted this guy to have a cigarette, but maybe not. What else would he have in his mouth? Maybe a candy cane. Let's just let's get you defined. I'll just use the same color as the fish just to kind of define it better. Yeah, I don't want him to smoke. I don't want smoking sucks. Okay, so okay, he's got this in his mouth. Okay, I think I'm gonna wind up doing like lips and everything on this dude, and it's gonna look kind of weird. Yeah, I'll give him a little lower lip. All right. Yeah, lower lip. right there. Yeah, all this paint is kind of drying on the palette now. So when you're drawing lips, kind of the underneath is dark, right? There's the underneath. It's a little dark, and then it's just a little bit light on top, just reflecting some of the light, not too much. But I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to be real careful when I cut this to get those lips, because that's really given a lot of personality right there, that little bit of lip stuff going on there. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'll just that's what I always do. I forgot I always do this kind of when I, and I'll do it all at once, and maybe I'll do it now. I go around and kind of define the outside so I can better see what's going on inside. Yeah, that is. Oh, I messed that up. I did something wrong. It's not working right. Okay. Okay, that's good. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it with a bigger brush because these are fucking little brushes. All right. Get some white in there. Yeah, he's looking good. Oh, I was going to do those. That's cigarette or maybe not a cigarette. You know what? I don't need to go around. I know where everything is. I know where everything is. So this is the cigarette or maybe the candy cane. It's going to be more like a candy or a candy something. What else would you have sticking out of your mouth if you were a goldfish? I don't want this to be a jaybird either. I don't want to send signals. It does look like a cigarette. We might stick with cigarettes. All right, guys. Cigarettes are always cool. I'll revert to my good old juvenile delinquent days. I feel like I'm doing something incorrect here. So that's the end. And that'll be kind of the ash. So I think that needs to be a little gray because cigarette ashes are really gray. So I know I'm getting super detaily here on this now, but whatever. Oh, okay, that looks like a cigarette ash, right? So I just want it to be a little bit. That's good. And then I think the other side of the cigarette, I can go back to this brown, is the filter part where it's like it's that color. Dude, I just drew me a cigarette. Look at that. Happy birthday. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. I think that's what we used to say in the service. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. All right. That's a big old. That's a big old one too, man. That's freaking. That's a big old cigarette. I think I need this too because I do want to keep this kind of straight looking. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong here. It's curving back down like that. All right. Maybe a little bit of black here. And if it's too much black, so I'll get a little bit of white on top of it. Maybe doing all these like random kind of strokes so it doesn't look so uniform. Yeah, and maybe once I'm done with that, I can make some smoke coming up. So, you know what? I'm gonna take a break, man. Uh, this was kind of good, dude. I got a lot done, man. I sat here for maybe an hour, and I got some color on here. So he's looking dope with his big lip and his googly eye and his smoking a cigarette. And what else did he do? So I don't know who's on still. I can't tell from this, but thanks for checking in, guys. Um, this is where we are. See the googly eye? And man, look at the cigarette too. I drew that kind of just that shadow earlier, and it really kind of helps it stick out. So here we go. All right, thanks for checking. I'm out.